Windows 2.0. Now they can touch each other. 2 years later, Windows 2.0 shows up like, "Look, Mom, I can overlap windows now." Huge improvement, especially because Microsoft Word and Excel appeared around this time. Multitasking was finally possible. If your computer, as long as your computer didn't crash that day. Apple sued Microsoft for copying the Macintosh. Judge said, "Well, you work together, so deal with it." Microsoft kept overlapping Windows and basically never let go of the idea again. Windows 3.0 and 3.1. Windows finally looks like Windows. 1990. Full-color interface. Actual icons. Programs that didn't instantly crash. Thanks to Intel's 386 processor, your PC could finally run multiple apps without catching fire. Windows 3.1 added drag and drop. Kids today drag files around like it's nothing. But back then, big moment. Magical moment. It also shipped with Solitaire and Minesweeper. Microsoft's sneaky training course teaching the world how to use a mouse. Windows 95. The glow-up everyone remembers. Windows 95 launched and the world collectively went, "Okay, this is a big deal." Start menu, taskbar, plug and play. All the things that make Windows Windows basically started here. You could connect a printer and it just worked. Well, mostly worked. Let's not pretend USB existed yet. It also brought Internet Explorer. The good news, people discovered the internet. The bad news, it crashed like a toddler on roller skates. Still, Windows 95 was huge. Microsoft made it a pop culture moment. Windows 98, same thing, but less explodey. Usually, 1998 arrives. Windows 98 brings better USB support, better internet handling, and even dual monitor support. Finally, people could have two screens, one for work, one for solitaire. It was great when it wasn't crashing. Bill Gates famously demonstrated plug-and-play live on stage and got a blue screen. Even Bill couldn't escape Windows reality. Windows ME, the problem child. Ah yes, Windows Millennium Edition, released in 2000 and widely known as the Mistake Edition. Laggy, unstable, allergic to software, confused by hardware. Even the system restore, supposed to save you, often failed. Imagine a fire extinguisher that catches fire. That was Windows ME. Let's move on before it crashes again. Windows 2000, the serious one nobody talks about. Windows 2000 was the more professional sibling, built on the stable Windows NT foundation. This version was solid, secure, and perfect for businesses. People respected it, but nobody tells their kids bedtime stories about it. Windows XP, the greatest hit album. 2001. Windows XP lands and instantly becomes the Beyoncé of operating systems. Friendly interface, faster startup, better hardware detection, and built-in CD burning. Kids, ask your parents what CDs are. It also introduced NTFS by default, a more modern way Windows stores and protects files. A safer, faster file system compared to the old DOS one. XP was stable, smooth, and loved so much that people refused to upgrade later, for years, sometimes decades. Even today, some ancient ATMs still whisper XP in the dark. Windows Vista. Pretty, until it isn't. Vista arrived in 2007 trying to look cool with transparent windows, animations, and 3D window flipping. It was pretty, sure, but also hungry. It demanded more power than most PCs had. And then came UAC, User Account Control, the pop-up that would interrupt you for absolutely everything. You want to open that program? You sure? Really sure? Okay, but I'll ask again in 2 minutes. Drivers were broken, performance was slow, and users instantly wanted to uninstall Vista from their memories. Windows 7, the redemption arc. Windows 7 shows up like Vista's cooler, smarter sibling, same nice interface but no lag. Snap feature for easy window arranging. Great search bar. Rock solid performance. People loved Windows 7 so much they basically pretended Windows 8 didn't exist later. And honestly, Understandable. Windows 8 and 8.1. The tablet obsession era. Microsoft thought the future was tablets, so in 2012, they redesigned Windows entirely around touch gestures. For non-tablet users, aka 99% of humanity, it felt like being dropped into a strange alternate universe. Start menu? Gone. Replaced by a full-screen tile carnival. People revolted loudly. Microsoft rushed out Windows 8.1 to fix things. Start button back, desktop improvements, less chaos. Nice try, but the damage was done. Windows 10, the one that was supposed to be the last, released 2015. Microsoft promised, "This is the final Windows version. We'll just update it forever." That did not happen. Windows 10 mixed Windows 7's familiarity with a touch of Windows 8's design. It introduced virtual desktops, task view, and solid performance. But Windows 10 updates had a personality. Random reboots. Updates starting while you're working. Progress stuck at 99%. The kind of chaos that becomes memes for years. Still, it became one of the most widely used versions ever, especially for gaming. Windows 11. Windows 10, wearing fresh makeup. 2021. Windows 11 rolls in with centered taskbar icons, rounded corners, and design cues suspiciously similar to macOS. It added snap layouts for easier multitasking and finally let File Explorer open multiple folders and tabs like a web browser. Yes, it took Microsoft until 2022 to add tabs. Let that sink in. Under the hood, it's basically Windows 10 with stricter hardware requirements and softer visuals. Nothing groundbreaking, but overall polished and pleasant. And as of 2024 to 2025, Windows 10 is still more popular because people love familiarity and hate upgrading. Windows NT Server Embedded, the invisible heroes. While everyone else was clicking solitaire, Microsoft built a whole secret family of Windows versions. Windows NT launched in the 90s as a stable, secure, enterprise-focused system. This was the foundation for all modern Windows. Windows Server runs offices, companies, data centers, basically the world. These versions are strict, stable, and about as fun as doing taxes. But they keep the internet alive. Windows Embedded and IoT, these run on ATMs, cash registers, elevators, airport kiosks, factory robots. So when your ATM crashes and shows a Windows update, yep, that's Windows taking a little break. So, what's the big picture? Windows basically grew from, please don't crash. Okay, now we look modern. Oops, we changed too much. Let's fix that. This is the last Windows. Just kidding. Most people don't need every fancy feature. Most don't even use half the stuff in the Start menu. But Windows continues shaping how billions of people interact with computers, even when it occasionally melts down in spectacular fashion. And speaking of spectacular, Windows has way more going on under the surface, and that's a story for another day.